and another caution. What's the saying, Matt? A caution breeds a caution, breeds a caution.
That's right. You bunch these cars up and have them, out there 2 and 3 right on top of each other. That just increases the chances that something's going to go wrong. And in the early portion of the race, it was down in turns 1 and 2 that we saw trouble. But now turn number 3 has really become Calamity Corner as of late.
76 of Aaron Phillips as the corner work attempts that. Boy, a lot of damage on Aaron Phillips' 76 car. Top 5 remain in line. Ryan Markham, Shane McLaughlin, Dave Hornicle, Mike Lonis, and George Lee. But the beer can that is the 76 of Aaron Phillips back there through 1 and 2. Man, that is a lot of pop rivet guns in one night.
That's a recycled beer can right there. Scrap heap.
Well, you just take it back to the shop and start getting out the rivet gun and putting it back together. And
you'd be surprised how, if it's just sheet metal damage, how well you can continue on out there, especially on a smaller track like Hilltop Speedway. So we'll see if he has anything left in the tank out there. He will have to start from the tail end of the field, though, if he elects to continue on.
15 down, 25 to go. Markham holding on to the point. Shane McLaughlin has not moved. Dave Hornicle has not moved. Mike Lonis hasn't moved. George Lee has not moved. J.R. Gentry and Mark Gardner. Scotty Pells and Ricky Bond right behind them. Taking a look back through the field, I see Russ King starting to inch his way forward a little bit too, Matt. If you look back there, we got 9 cars back.
Yeah, he's been slow and methodical in his march to the front, as has Doug Drown, who's a couple more spots back as well. King started back in 18th, Drown in 22nd, so they're inching their way to the front. They still have a lot of laps to go.
The 56 of Russ King, let's see if he can work his way to the front right now as we get ready to go back to green. 15 down, 25 laps to go. 5 cautions so far plagued us here tonight through 15 laps at Hilltop. Green flag is back out again.
Coming to the caution, it seemed like Hornicle was the fastest up on the high side. We'll see if he can continue that here off the green.
Everybody's still bunched up, and that means there's a lot of touching going on the bull ring here at Hilltop Speedway. 4 wide racing back there behind Ryan Markham. 16 down in the books now. And look who's in the mix. That is George Lee. 3 wide racing. McLaughlin, Lee, and Hornicle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Look at the General going to work on this field, man.
And the General not shy at all about poking his nose right up the middle, 3 wide. He is fearless beyond the wheel of that number 61 machine, continuing to run right in the middle of the track, trying to split Hornicle and McLaughlin.
Here comes the General. He's thinking to himself, it's time to go. Let's get on the hammer. It is short track racing. Look at George Lee go. Caution flag comes out again.
Man, what a tough break for Dave Hornicle. Looked like he was getting set to take the lead around the outside of Ryan Markham, but there you see the reason for this caution flag up there in turn number 2. Josh Harris coming to a stop.
So that is unfortunate. Another caution comes out.
The facilities at University of Northwestern Ohio were amazing, really.
I've had more hands-on than I've had my entire life.
The instructors that I had were very knowledgeable. They gave me a lot of great advice, and they were there for me as instructors and also as friends.
They're always looking to better your education. It's a great school.
Fun time, great teachers, great experience. Probably the best decision of my life to come down.
I had nothing but good things to say about this school, and UNOH helped me make my dreams come true.
Callies Performance Products, the home of America's #1 racing crankshafts and ultra connecting rods, is a proud sponsor of this event's coverage. At Callies, American craftsmanship is put to work every day, producing the best engine components available through the use of superior materials and technology. Your crankshaft and connecting rod needs can often be met immediately from our large selection of finished, ready-to-ship inventory.
Well, Dave Hornicle was seemingly en route to the biggest win of his career here for $5,000, but the breaks of racing, Matt Noonan.
Yeah, in dirt late model racing, generally the case as is in the UNOH All-Star Late Model Series. The caution flag takes you back to the previous lap, so the pass of Dave Hornicle into the lead around Ryan Markham was negated. He'll have to do it all over again if he wants to wrestle that lead away, but honestly, DC, I believe he has had the fastest car on the racetrack throughout the last several restarts. Usually takes him about a lap or 2 to kind of get up to full speed, but once he gets that 71 machine going on the outside, I think he's been the fastest car up there in the top 5. He just needs some green flag laps to be able to run it out.
Ryan Markham has 18 career wins, but right behind him, sitting there in that third position, the General George Lee has 16 career wins, and he's a former champion as well. So great talent and a lot of experience up there in that top three there, Matt.
Yeah, a whole lot of great talent, not only here in Eastern Ohio, but really around the Midwest region here in the Mid-Ohio Valley, and over into the Midwest, into Indiana and Illinois. Some of the best local talent around, and that's what makes this series so great. You match up the great local talent, with the regional hot shoes and the traveling all-stars.
18 down, 22 laps to go here tonight for this 40-lap A main. Appreciate you joining us tonight here for night one of the UNOH All-Star Late Models. Just about to the halfway point of our first A main of the summer, and it's been a good one so far.
No go.
Here's the General George Lee.
No go.
And the caution comes out. No go. They call it back this time. That's an official's caution. A little jumping in the field there.
Looks like Mike Graber was slow down the backstretch. I don't know if that was the reason for bringing out the yellow flag, or if they decided that somebody up front jumped. I believe the slow car is the reason they decided to call the green flag back. It actually never waved on the flag stand.
All right, so Graber will get punished there for that one as kind of a penalty box kind of thing. You go and feel shame, and you come back out again.
As we said in the opening, DC, bent sheet metal and bruised egos.
Absolutely. All right, let's try it again. 18 down, 22 to go. Just about at the cross flags. 2 away from the halfway point. Ryan Markham hanging on tight out of Ashland, Ohio. The General George Lee in the 61 car. But don't count out Dave Hornicle yet. Green flag back out again. We are racing.
Looks like Lee's going to try to push his 61 machine up in front of Hornicle, but it looks like Hornicle slips up in turn number 2. That's going to cost him.
Hornicle in free fall through the field. Oh, we got melee breaking out all over the place back in the back of the pack.
I don't know how they didn't have a massive pileup back there. As guys were slipping and sliding every which way, and that's going to bring the caution flag out as a number of cars have slowed, but they're lucky they didn't pile them all together there.
Yeah, we had a ton of cars all over the place back there. Caution flag back out again. I don't think we're going to complete that lap.
And that was just a chain reaction, I believe, when Dave Hornicle slipped up there on the high side, and everybody behind him kind of started checking up, trying not to run over him, and then the guy behind him tried not to run over the next guy in front of him. And by the time you get back to about 15th, 20th place, you got guys just running into each other, smacking each other, and nearly spinning around. Everybody was able to keep it straight, but nevertheless, that needed a caution flag because you had guys all about stomped out there on the track.
Eric Smitley, it looks like he might get a record down there in 3 and 4. Looks like he might have broken axle with the melee. A lot of cars involved, but it looks like everybody got away without a whole lot of injury to the underside. $18 down, 22 laps to go. This 40-lap A main, night number 1 so far for the UNOH All-Star Late Models at Hilltop Speedway. It's been a good one. And boy, a lot of discussion throughout the field. No, I don't go there. Yes, I do. He said, she said. And that's what's pretty much going on. But the officials are starting to grow a little tired of all the sandbox play, if you will.
Little friendly discussion.
All right, maybe not any Thanksgiving cards, but we'll get it settled. All right, so Ryan Markham hanging on tight. George Lee. Mike Lonis finds himself in the 3rd position. Now Shane McLaughlin, Dave Hornicle get Dr. L. Green flag back out, and we are racing.
Let's see what Lee does here in turns 1 and 2.
Lee tucks it underneath a whole handful of steering wheel for Ryan Markham as Lee got him out of shape there, Matt, but here comes Mike Lonis again.
Yeah, that was Lonis on the inside. Now he's hunting the lead off at turn number 4. Lee in his patented high, wide, and handsome line right behind, lurking in 3rd. But just as we've seen all race long, the top 5 staying right together. Nobody's getting away.
Boy, look at the momentum that Lee has coming out of turns 2 and 4 on the gas, and he is untouchable, but just that much slower than Ryan Markham. And cross flags.
And look at the line change that Markham has done here. He has been on the low line, but I think he knows that George Lee is behind him. He probably saw it under caution. Now he knows to protect him, but here comes Lee down low.
It looks like George Lee is getting on fire at just the right time here. The General, George Lee, 16 career wins out of Loudonville, Ohio, knows his way around. He moves up to the top position. We have a new leader just past the halfway point, Matt.
Nice slide job for you coming off at turn number 4, but Ryan Markham's not done as he looks down to the inside in 1 and 2, but Lee with the momentum hangs on to the lead off the corner, and the fans here at Hilltop Speedway absolutely loving it, and their grandstand's right underneath us.
So George Lee looks like he was just waiting to find the clean air because he's already blown out to a 4-car length lead over Ryan Markham. So it was a matter of when and not if.
That is by far the biggest lead we have seen anybody have today, but Markham's still within striking distance, still plenty of laps left on the scoreboard, and plenty of guys behind as well as the yellow flag now comes back out.
So the General, George Lee, takes the top spot, caution flag out. We'll take a break, back with more in a minute from Hilltop.
The diesel industry is booming. Diesel technicians are in high demand. A career offering high income, job stability, and opportunities for advancement. At the University of Northwestern Ohio, you get it all. Dead and live engine rooms, diesel dynos, biodiesel and alternative fuels, air brake certification, ASE testing, CDL licensing, and more. Training so diverse, you'll be equipped to work at any fleet, service center, or dealer across the nation. Want a great future doing what you love? Visit unoh.edu.
Callies Performance Products, the home of America's #1 racing crankshafts and ultra-connecting rods, is a proud sponsor of this event's coverage. At Callies, American craftsmanship is put to work every day, producing the best engine components available through the use of superior materials and technology. Your crankshaft and connecting rod needs can often be met immediately from our large selection of finished, ready-to-ship inventory.
24 down, 16 laps to go back here at Hilltop Speedway, night 1 of the UNOH All-Star Late Models, entirely on TV. We are excited about it, and we thank you for hanging out with us tonight. What a great A-main to start our late model campaign on television.
It's the kind of racing we've come to expect here at Hilltop Speedway, DC, and for much of this race so far, it really has been the top 5 cars just running right together under a blanket. George Lee kind of started to open up a little bit of daylight before that caution flag came out, but it'll be interesting on the Delaware double file restart here to see if anybody else tries to challenge it.
All right, Ryan Markham rolling in second. He will get the choice of lanes here, and the whole track is pretty racy, Matt, so let's see where he decides to go, and then Dave Hornicle will fill in with what's left over and so on and so forth back through the field.
Yeah, we've seen guys run over every inch of this racetrack here in Millersburg, Ohio. We've seen the high side, the low side. We've seen George Lee thread the needle right up the middle, and the track seems to be holding fine in terms of raceability out there. It's still just as good as it was on the drop of the green flag on lap number 1, if not better.
Looks like Mike Lonis stopped to have a chat with the corner worker there. He'll fall back in line. Lonis has had a good race so far tonight.
He has. He's been right up in there. He even got alongside Markham a couple times when Markham was leading before that last caution flag, before George Lee took over the top spot in this race.
All right, your 2009 champion and George Lee takes the lead away from Ryan Markham and blows out to a big lead, so that's taken away for the time being. And the question you got to ask, Matt, this is the necessary evil in dirt track racing. You got to function in lap traffic. They have yet to even get back to lap traffic in this short bull ring.
I mean, not only have they not got to lap traffic, they haven't even gotten into the same zip code as lap traffic. I mean, not even on the same straightaway as the tail end of the field. The field is just that close together. And you mentioned, we haven't had that many consecutive green flag laps in this one, but now that we're into the second half of this race, there's a good chance that we may never see lap traffic, especially as the field kind of starts to get thinned out as we go along.
All right, Ryan Markham takes the outside line in the second position. Dave Hornicle